Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve, your host. I'm joined once again, the triumphant return of BC. Yay! He's back from his assignment. We
Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years.
That's true. That's true. And who else we got here tonight? BB. And our keyboard player this evening is
Dylan.
All right, guys. What's up, BC? Glad to have you back, buddy. Where you been?
Where you going? What you looking for?
Oh, because for legal reasons, I'm not allowed to
speak of. Oh, would you sign a non-disclosure agreement?
His Donald Duck suit was taken off of him.
He was, yeah.
For copyright infringement.
Bastards.
Yeah, Disney.
The next Selena Gomez video will have BC's Donald Duck.
His arrest, trial, and execution is going to be on there.
Everything.
There is like a trial where someone was wearing like a goofy suit.
All right.
Yeah. There was like a trial involving a Disney character.
So not the first.
See, they moved from Goofy to Donald.
Serious, so maybe.
Yeah. I said BC was fucking goofy. Welcome back, everybody. How you guys doing out there? You guys are awesome. Thanks for.
Thank you.
You too, Dylan.
Thanks.
I'm talking to our faithful listeners out there.
They are awesome as well.
Yes.
Kicking ass. We appreciate you guys. Share our posts, share the podcast, share it with everybody. What are we all listening to? I have some cool shit I've been listening to, but Dylan, how about you? What do you got going?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I've recently fallen straight down the Coheed and Cambria rabbit hole. Their new album came out recently from when we're recording. I believe it's called On Heavenly Creatures. And I was just blown away by it that I had to go back and truly listen to all of their albums. Because I had heard a couple songs here and there, and I really liked them, and I recommended them before. But then I listened to their catalog, and let me tell you, each album gives you something really cool and different. And the fact that they're a band that has a storyline like that goes throughout every one of their albums. That's crazy.
The same storyline?
It's the same storyline throughout each one of their albums. It's called the Amory Wars. And it's crazy that they're able to keep it up. Claudio Sanchez, the lead singer, is just a genius. It's really cool stuff.
I didn't know that.
And the music ranges from really cool metal to almost pop at times, and they run the gamut of all these different genres and manage to create a really cool product.
Awesome. BC, when you were sitting alone in the cell there, what were you listening to while you were gone away?
I was not allowed to listen to anything. It was part of the sentence, you would say. So I've not been able to listen too much until the last 4 days. So.
What did you listen to the last 4 days?
DC4. The new...
Atomic Highway.
What do you think?
What do you think about it?
Come on, BC. Come on, let's go.
But back in the rhythm.
I like it. I mean, except for the Who. I guess I'm not a Who person, I guess. Even when our bands do.
Oh, they cover Bob O'Reilly, right?
Yeah, Bob
yes.
O'Reilly. Yeah. It's good. Don't get me wrong, a good cover, but I'm not a Who guy. But the rest of it's cranking DC4 and
Who are so
still
good,
the
though.
player, baby.
All right, cool. BB.
I've been stuck in the Danger catalog, especially the album Screw It from 1991. I sent Steve a picture the other day. For some odd reason, I put that on shuffle play and probably listened to it 10 times in one day. Don't know why. Just got stuck in I said, screw it, BC, and I listened to it 10 times.
You're a horny son of a bitch.
Yeah, fucking that great song on there. Another great song, Beat the Bullet, Get Your Shit Together. Fucking, just a really great album. And listening back from 1991, I somewhat missed that little glam shit going on there. So
you missed a lot of good stuff then.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good albums
tons
that
of
came
stuff
out
out.
then.
It was too much of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And actually, BC and I told BB, I said we got to see some of them songs performed in May when we went to the third day of M3 and Ted Poley played.
Yeah. Right.
And I'll tell you what, that guy can still bring it. I really enjoyed his show this year at the, I forget what it was called, the Sleazy Slimy Sunday, I think.
Something like that.
And it was just a great day, and Ted Poley was a big part of that. And he played for probably over an hour that night, I want to say. And he had the crowd going. He had balloons going out in the crowd, and he was throwing something else out too. I forget what the fuck else he was throwing out. But
Drugs?
good pick. No drugs, Dylan. And me, what I'm listening to is I've been hooked on the new Slash album, Living the Dream. I'm sorry. And I've said before on the podcast many times that I can't really take Miles Kennedy's vocals for too long. But I'll tell you what, this album fucking kicks ass. I was like, I just put it. I had it, and I was like, I'll listen to it when I get a chance to get to it. So I threw it on my phone, and I go for my walk/run. And I figured, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna just check this out because I usually go for about an hour and 10 minutes, and it was just long enough for me to do my walk. But it's phenomenal. The guitar playing is great. I don't mind the vocals on it. There's a lot of great harmonies on it. Slash just absolutely fucking tears it up. And you could hear Todd Kern's background vocals on this album. They're like so out front on a lot of the songs. Excellent album. Like BC, of course, I've been hooked like a junkie on the DC4 Atomic Highway album. And for me, you guys know I've been talking about DC4 since we started this podcast. And we had Sean Duncan on right around this time last year, I want to say, when they were still in the process of finishing up recording and everything. And let me tell you, this album was worth the wait. It is top to bottom great. BC's not a fan of the Who, but you know what? I'm not a big Who guy either, but that is a fucking excellent version. The drums have that looseness to it that are like a loose tightness, I want to say, that just are totally in the song. And the solos at the end is just fucking ripping. But songs like
Something in my head.
Something in my head, right? Yeah. Something in my head. Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Something in my head.
Yeah, something in my head. I'm sorry. Castaway, Dominique. I fucking absolutely love that. I love that song, Atomic Highway. Just a great album. So you guys, if you get a chance, support these guys. They are a great band, and hopefully they come to the East Coast in support of this album at some time, so we can go check those guys out. And I'll tell you what, if they play New York City, you guys, we're going. I don't give a shit. We're going.
We're getting frank and we're going.
We're going. So you guys check those out. So a little danger for BB, a little DC4 for myself and BC, Coheed and Cambria for Dylan, and a little Slash for me. So just check them out. Support new music. You guys go out there, buy it. And I actually just ordered the vinyl of the new Slash album, which is it's Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Is I guess the
Can't forget the Conspirators.
the actual name. No, the band. They're a
very
freaking
tight
phenomenal
band.
chugging machine.
Boy,
I can't wait.
Lizzie and Miles Kennedy in the same year. Boy, this is probably this.
I'm growing
this is
as a
milestone on the
I'm growing
podcast.
as a person, BB. I'm branching out here. I'm branching out.
By the end of 2019, Beth will be his favorite singer.
Let's not get crazy here. Let's not get in. You're talking silly now. But definitely check out new stuff, you guys. There's and actually I was talking to these guys before we came on the air here. We're kind of I am kind of gearing up to do our favorite albums of this year episode, which because I think we did last year's the beginning of January. I think we waited till the new year to do it.
Did we?
I want to say, yeah. And
I'll look that up.
so-
I thought we did it like right at the end of the year,
Okay.
but let me check.
All right, I thought we did it at the beginning of January. Well, regardless, I was just going through, and I showed these guys all the albums that I had written down. I have like 3 pages of albums that came out this year, and there's probably a good 65, 70 that I have on my list. And I know there's ones that I left off. I've been trying to go through, write them down as they've been coming out.
Yeah, we did it at the end of the year.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, so at the end of last year, so and I think I have my list narrowed down to like 20 at this time, but that'll definitely change. So you guys, there's a ton of great music out there, and a shitload of great music that came out just this year alone, and it's like it's getting kind of like the late 80s BC. There's just so much stuff out now. It's so hard to really commit to a new release and check it out because you're still listening to the stuff that came out like 2 months ago and stuff came out between then and now and you're trying to listen to them. There's just so much good stuff out there. And very few of the albums that came out this year that I was looking through the list, there's very few that I was like, I didn't really care for that too much. There were a couple, but there's a lot of ones that, the honorable mention list could be like, 50 albums or something. So it's just an insane amount of great music out there. You can't do it all, but we're trying here to give you guys a taste of the best of what is out there. And a couple quick news things. All right, BC. What the fuck is up with Stephen Piercy?
Fucking train wreck.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's where you were. You're hanging out with Piercy.
He needs to go where I came from, so that's just my opinion.
I mean, I think at this point, the couple things that I've seen online, like, I feel bad for A, the fans that paid to see that, B, his band.
Why don't you explain what's been going on for the folks at home that don't quite know?
What was that first night? The first night he was totally...
It was in New York somewhere.
They said he was pain pills and booze, which I've seen that on a personal level. So yeah, he did kind of look at you. It just makes you fucking like... I'm guessing he was...
He just like sat down on the drum riser. And then there was another one that just like a couple days ago.
Then like the show after that, he was fine.
He was fine.
And then the show after that, he was...
It was, like he was doing the... They showed, I think it was Wanted Man. It was a video of Wanted Man, and it was horrible. And I think Sonny said it on Growing Up Rock. Like those stage moves were cool that you did in like 1983 or 80, like 85.
80s.
They don't look so cool now with like him doing them now. It looks kind of
not
like
the same effect.
But hey, I mean they're out there playing. I mean the music sounded really good, though. The music sounded great.
Stephen Piercy, it's a little train wreck.
I don't know. It's just so weird. Just to, I feel bad. Like I said, I feel bad for the fans and I feel bad for the band because the band was great. I thought they sounded excellent. Just Stephen, if you're out there, I hope you get your shit together and.
Well, he did man up, and I think after that night, he did come out with an apology.
He did.
And, so.
Then 2 shows later,
Then 2 shows later,
he fell off again.
But we hope he's doing good and hope he gets himself straightened out there. And Dylan, you have a tidbit for us.
Yeah, the nominees
Get ready for anger.
For the 2019 class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame have been announced. And I'm going to read them off, and you guys, through cheers and round of applause, tell me what you think of them. Okay, first off, we have...
You said jeers and round of applause, right?
Well, the first band I have is Def Leppard.
Yay!
There you go. See?
Excellent.
That's why I said...
That may be the only one.
That was the hype one.
Probably.
We have Devo, Janet Jackson, John Prine,
I don't know who that is.
Kraftwerk. I think it is fitting that Kraftwerk and Devo are in the same nominee pool.
Are they like those kind of bands?
Well,
I know Devo, but
they're similar. They got that like LL Cool J, who
again?
Yeah, he didn't make it. He didn't make it last time.
How many?
He got knocked out.
Don't call it a comeback. He's been
Mama knocked him out.
I wonder how many years you can actually be on the ballot, because it seems like every year he's on that freaking ballot.
Yeah. MC5, another band that was on the ballot before, I believe.
They should. I think they should. They were like it. They were like that, like one of the first hardcore bands from Detroit.
Yeah.
They were a big influence on a lot of bands. They really were.
Radiohead. I will make the case for Radiohead. They are pretty influential, and this is their first year that they are eligible for. Like, they're huge. They are big, Dad. I know you don't like them.
They get in.
But they are
have
big.
An airstrike in fucking Cleveland.
Another band that you don't like, but they should be in, Rage Against the Machine. I like Rage a lot. I think they're good. They're rock.
At least they're rock.
They're rock.
At least they are rock.
They're more rock than half the or 3/4.
Speaking of rock, the next nominee, Roxy Music. Then you have Rufus featuring Shaka Khan.
Yeah, Shaka
Again?
Khan.
Stevie Nicks, who, if she does get in, it'll be the second time she is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
For Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, right.
And she'll be the first female to be nominated, to be inducted twice. So that'd be cool.
I can go for that. I
like Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
I can definitely go for that. I would vote for her.
The Cure, who again are big. They're a big name.
Influence.
I think they are. They're a big like new wave influence type thing, right?
Yeah. The Zombies. They're okay. They're an older band, so.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
At least I know the name.
And Todd Rundgren. So.
I could probably see Todd Rundgren.
Yeah. So
I don't know, when they say Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I kind of lean towards like
rock and roll.
rock and roll, rock bands.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's not that, but
here's your class. Who do you want to get in, and who do you think's going to get in?
Def Leppard, beyond the shadow of a doubt. And it sucks, again, that Judas Priest was on the ballot last year, not on the ballot this year. Stevie Nicks, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. She has a lot of great solo stuff out there. I love "Stop Dragging My Heart Around" when she sings with Tom Petty.
Yeah.
That's just a fucking phenomenal song. And
Now, who do you think is going to get in?
who do I think is going to get in?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Stevie Nicks is probably going to get in. Def Leppard is not going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say you might see MC5 get in.
Going to kick out the jams and
I think so, but I think you're really going to see one of them really stupid ones get in too, like Kraftwerk or
I can tell you that
couldn't even name a fucking song from those guys.
without a
Crack
doubt,
Work.
Radiohead is getting in the rock.
Radiohead will get in because they love that like stupid shit like that.
I can tell you without a doubt they're getting in.
who do you know?
Maybe I'm thinking Rage might get in too.
They may.
I can see it.
They may.
At least
Well, they like
been-
Tom Morello because he did the introduction for Kiss.
They have been nominated before though, and they did not get in.
Oh, really?
So
Well, maybe they think like it's like trying to tip over the vending machine. You got to
Yeah.
get it rocking,
and
get
hey,
it a couple
that's
times.
the band to start a riot.
at least they're rock. In my book.
Yeah.
They're very good.
So I wonder what the criteria is now that.
Influence is the big
Influence.
one.
They
But
said that all along.
Judas Priest was on there last year.
Here we go.
Why are they not on this
I'm
year?
thinking it's because they didn't get a ton of votes in the actual ballot.
And who does
I'm
that?
thinking. So okay,
you
so
vote online actually.
ballots will be sent to an international voting. This is from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame site itself. Ballots will be sent to an international voting body of more than 1,000 artists, historians, and members of the music industry. Factors such as an artist's musical influence on other artists, length and depth of career, and the body of work, innovation and superiority in style and technique are taken into consideration.
So how does Judas Priest not get the
Yeah.
fuck in?
But hey, you can speak with your vote.
I voted for
beginning
them
October
shitload as
9th
many times as I could.
From October through December 9th, fans can visit therockhall.com to cast votes for who they believe to be the most deserving of induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The top 5 artists, as selected by the public, will comprise a fans ballot that will be tallied along with the other ballots to choose the 2019 inductees. So
So the committee can shit can the public's vote.
you could do one vote per day. So just like
Rock the vote, people.
we live in a
At
democracy.
least rock the vote for Def Leppard, please.
So yeah, if you guys want to see Def Leppard get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like the rest of us at this table, vote for them.
And actually, real quick, Joe Elliott just put out today. It's October 10th that we're recording this episode. Joe Elliott put out a statement that he feels that should Def Leppard get in, that Pete Willis, the original guitar player that Phil Collins replaced, should be inducted also. I totally agree. He's on the first 2 albums, and I think he played a lot of the rhythm stuff on Pyromania, if I'm not mistaken, going by Phil Collins' book, because I think he played a lot of the solos. But On Through the Night and High and Dry, him and Steve Clark, they're the guys. That was their foundation. I think he absolutely deserves to get in.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're iconic albums that put them on the map.
Yeah.
The foundation for Pyromania. And like I said, they were the guys that started this band. Definitely should be.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly think I think they should cover the whole list of whoever was in the band. You know, at some time or another, they influenced somebody somewhere. They carried on that music at that period of time. They
Right.
put them all in.
Yeah, and even if they put Pete Willis in, if they leave Vivian Campbell out, that would be just the fucking shit thing to do. Because he'd be like literally, I think, the only guy to not go in, right?
I honestly think it should be like if you've played on an album and have done at least one tour with the band, you should be in with with them.
Hey, I mean, like
Rock and
the
Roll Hall of
fucking
Fame.
Triangle playing Bruce Springsteen's band fucking got in.
I don't understand how the entire E Street Band could be in, but like you only have like the original 4 of Black Sabbath.
Or
Do
the
you know how
original
many,
Ford
like-
Kiss.
I'm
sorry.
Let's leave out Kiss for a second because there are some
Nah.
people that shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cough, Vinnie Vincent. But
BB and Dylan are gonna
Black
fight.
Sabbath-
We're gonna flip this table
Black
over.
Sabbath, you're leaving out Dio, you're leaving
Yeah.
out Ian Gillan,
Vincent
you're leaving
Kiss.
out just like all these amazing people.
Damn right he did.
I know. If nothing else for Black Sabbath, Dio should have been there. Him and Vinny Appice should have been there because he didn't record on Heaven and Hell, but I want to say he probably did some of the tour, and then he did all the Mob Rules, and then he did the Dehumanizer stuff, and then he did when they
Check
were
back
Heaven
on
and
the
Hell. He
90s
was
album.
the drummer for that also.
Well, if you vote for Def Leppard in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.com voting, after you submit your vote, you could see the current standings.
What are the top 5?
Stevie Nicks, Def Leppard, The Cure, Todd Lundgren, The Zombies.
Radiohead.
Radiohead next.
Yeah,
Janet Jackson.
I can guarantee it doesn't.
Right.
Radiohead's getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Janet, if you're nasty.
I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. If Radiohead does not
If
get in the Rock and Roll
Janet,
Hall of Fame,
Jackson wins, I would vote for a wardrobe malfunction when she receives it.
I'm
You
gonna
haven't seen
say
it
if Radiohead does not get inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
What?
We haven't seen it recently.
Well, that's true.
I will listen to a Kid Rock
MC5's
album
the
front
least.
to back.
Yeah.
If what?
If Radiohead does not get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2019, I will listen to a Kid Rock album front to back,
And you have to review it.
and I will review it on the podcast.
We'll pick the album.
Yeah, that's fine.
I missed the first part.
That's how sure I'm gonna.
If Radiohead doesn't get into the hall, he's gonna listen to a kid.
That's how sure
Front
I'm
to back.
going.
Kid
I
Rock
am that Radiohead is going to get in because I
I
fucking
think Kid
hate
Rock
Kid
has
Rock.
a country album, doesn't he?
Kid Rock is like the worst trash in the history of trash. My opinion.
He's just pissed because he wanted to run for Senate. All right, we're not going to get into any of that at all. I'm going to
just-
slam the fucking brakes on there.
You literally just
pull the air
brought
brake.
it up.
Psh, okay.
Hey, how about the weather out there?
Yeah, and actually today, maybe an hour and a half before recording, it was announced that Ace Frehley shit canned his touring band, which was Richie Scarlett, Chris Wise, and Scott Coogan. Jeez, I had a little brain freeze there. And his band now is Gene's band, which is Ryan Cook, Jeremy Asbrock, Phil Souse, and it's on. I don't know if because they've had a couple drummers. Christopher Williams from Accept drummed with them. Brent Fitz was the original drummer with those guys. And I apologize. I forget who they said is going to. And this is the band that's going to be with Ace on the Kiss Cruise, by the way. And Matt Starr is going to be the drummer on the Kiss Cruise for the Ace band, but I'm not sure if that may continue to be a revolving drum seat type thing, depending on who's available.
Very
Because I've seen Brent Fitz play. You know, he played with the Big Rock Show. He played on the Kiss Cruise, and he's the drummer now currently in the Conspirators with Slash featuring Miles Kennedy. And Matt Starr, he's been in a shitload of bands. We've seen him play. We've seen him play with Lita Ford, right?
Lita Ford.
And I know there's a couple other bands he's played out there with. And Christopher Williams, Mr. Big. And we've met Christopher Williams, a great guy. He's a massive Kiss fan. He's the current drummer in Accept. And I think that Christopher did the Australian tour and the Japanese shows with Gene and Ace when they did that show. So they split. Ace and Gene split the band between the two of them. Those guys played a ton of Kiss stuff in the last couple months. So I can't wait to see them on the Kiss Cruise, because I want to say it was either Ryan or Jeremy or Phil. One of them, those guys said that they're working on some kind of cool, kind of deep shit tracks, not shit tracks, but cool shit to do on the Kiss Cruise. And Ace is, I think, playing 3. They came out with the schedule on the Kiss Cruise just the other day, and I think Ace is playing 3 shows on the Kiss Cruise. I think he's doing 2 shows on the pool deck, maybe, and then 1 in the theater. So it's just going to be off the fucking chain Ace-wise there. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. Especially if somebody with this band, they come out and actually get a little deep in some catalogs. Because, you know, as all of us here at the table as Kiss fans, you're so sick and tired of hearing the same old songs. And it's really refreshing, especially when the Kulick brothers, you know, they
Bruce is still playing.
They came out last year and they did that. They did the cruise, and what a deep cut set they did. You know, they blew everybody out of the water. So, you know, I think it's Ace's turn this year to take it to a new level with these deeper cuts now.
I was going to say, because we saw Gene Simmons with pretty much the band, except for maybe the drummer.
With all those guys. No, Brent Fitz was the drummer we saw.
Was it? Anyway, I mean, here's a band that can play anything. Like you said, fans want to see something different.
Yeah.
And the deeper cuts is what everybody wants to see. And like I said, they got the guys to do it now.
Right.
Not that they didn't have the guys before, but definitely the guys to do it now.
So does Ace think that it was the band that was making him sound crappy? Is that what?
I don't think so. I think he pretty much just needed a change. I think. And that band, they're just a chugging rock and roll machine. Those guys, they seriously are. They're just so talented. They can play anything.
But I think Ace might back himself into a corner because a band's only as good as the weakest link. And if you have the Gene Simmons band, Ace becomes the weakest link, you know? Just out of...
But...
like Ace now. I'm not saying Ace
if you watch some of the Gene shows, especially the earlier ones like what we saw, you know, there was a guy, there were no teleprompters, there's a guy holding up a big cardboard fucking lyric sheet for Gene to fucking read off of. But there's times, if you watch some of the videos where you notice where like either Ryan or Phil or Jeremy, if Gene starts to lose it, not lyrically singing wise, but like forgetting what the fuck he's singing about, those guys jump right in and start to sing. Mm-hmm. So now you have, you know, when it was Ace and Richie Scar, I mean Richie Scar, I think he was more just posing than fucking playing. But now you have Phil and you have Jeremy. I think either Phil or Jeremy, I think, is going to play bass, I think, in the Ace band. I want to say, I don't know, either one of them plays bass, but you still have, now you have 2 guitar players besides Ace anyways.
But will that make him lazy? He might get too used to the comfy chair of having this lifeline behind him, and he might just be like,
play the solos. Save your energy for the solos. And, you know, don't do the zombified version of fucking Rocket Ride and the zombified version of fucking Snowblind.
Do the tear-up versions.
Just, you know, bring the songs back to the tempo that they were meant to be playing at. Mm-hmm. But I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I think it's just going to be really, really cool. Real quick, anybody here going on the Mega Cruise?
Would be cool to go on, because you have Armored Saint and Anthrax. Maybe John Bush will sing a song or two with Anthrax.
Or maybe it'd be a big bar fight.
Yeah.
Maybe John Bush will throw Joey Bell down off the boat. I'm back in.
No, I think they're both doing well with the lineups that they.
Oh, absolutely. In Armored Saints, they've just been playing a bunch of shows. They played down in Mexico, and Phil Sandoval's been posting a bunch of stuff and everything. And
there's somebody else who was announced.
Corrosion of Conformity.
Testament.
Yeah. That'd be pretty.
So I mean, that'll be
a rock.
It's gonna be a rockin' boat. Yeah.
And I think it's like would be like this week of next year.
Yeah.
And it leaves out of San Diego, but it's like San Diego, Los Angeles, it stops in LA, and then it stops somewhere in Mexico, and then comes back, I want to say.
No, does it start out in LA? I think it goes then to San Diego, then Mexico and back.
Oh, all right. I know
something like that.
You could go deep sea diving with Chuck Billy.
Come on, Chuck. You can go up on stage and wear the electric crown with Testament.
Yes.
So, you guys check that out. And I have the Kiss Cruise coming up in a couple weeks. I can't wait. It's going to be very cool. Like I said, they put the schedule out. We will do a Kiss Cruise wrap-up show when we come back. So that's coming your way, you guys. So and look for and we'll be in the States too. We'll be at Key West, so I will be able to report in on our page and on my personal Facebook page and when the Kiss Cruise is going on. So what brings us here this week? We had a discussion a couple weeks ago about bands that are popular or out there that we don't really get or don't like for some reason. Maybe not don't like, but like
we haven't really
they're not really. We haven't delved into them. And so what we did was we each picked 3 bands that we had of that type, and we put them in a hat and we picked them out.
Yep.
And you're gonna find out which ones we did, and we picked their most popular album.
Yeah, like the album that like charted iTunes, the highest that
from these bands, and we all listened to them. So we're gonna get into them, and we'll just reveal them as we go along. And right before we came on air, we put everyone's name in a hat. We picked out the order that we're gonna go. BC, you're gonna go first. You got you're in the driver's seat first. So
what's the band?
What's the band and what's the album?
It's gonna be 2011 Nightwish with Imaginarum. Damn it, I did that good.
Way to go, buddy.
Like I said, I've heard of this band through passing of news and shit out there, but never really listened to them. But like I said, that's why we did this episode. I started listening to it, and first and foremost, it's definitely not my cup of tea.
Really?
I was very let down. I was looking forward to this. I was like, all right, Nightwish. Because like you said, they're on magazine covers everywhere. They're talked about. They're doing festivals. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not that they're bad or anything, but it was just usually I like female front rock bands, but her vocal style is like, it did get me.
And her name is what, Dad?
I can't even say.
Annette Olzon.
Thank you.
Olzon. Annette Olzon.
Yeah. Are you done?
No.
Was that?
No, I mean, I listened to it. I mean, it's very too
busy for you.
No, not busy. It's just too very too
symphonic for you.
Yes, thank you. Too much.
Too much going on.
No, too much. Not enough. Like Ghost River and Ruscom, like the guitar riffs, and I mean, underneath everything, if you're listening to guitar, it's great, but you don't hear the guitar enough, I don't think.
Too much shit going on at once.
There's too much of it.
Like a big fucking blunder of.
So you would say it's overproduced?
I think so. If it was more raw, I think it would be. I don't like her singing. I mean, I want my tears back. I mean, I was very disappointed. I was looking forward to this, and I was like, I thought I'd find a new band to really get into, and
not getting into it.
I did not.
I mean, this is No.
I was going to say I can't pronounce the other guys in the band. So.
No, I know they're crazy foreign Finnish names.
This album was released alongside a film. I don't think any of us watched the film though, right?
No.
And it's based off a concept. Basically, it's like a man talking about stuff with a circus, right? It's like he's an old composer and he's reminiscing about his younger years while he's dying. It starts off with that. The cool. What country are they from?
They're from Finland.
So is it
Finland?
So is it like? Are they speaking?
It's Finnish. The first song is.
Yeah.
Seether.
So I thought that was a cool.
Lavi. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. But it means winter magic. This is the first song.
The one thing.
And it's only a short thing, and it's all in Finnish.
It's a very atmospheric start, and I really like it. But the thing with me for symphonic metal, usually like symphonic metal, power metal, those kinds of genres. I need to be in the right mood for. Like I need to get myself in the right mindset.
I mean,
this is definitely. I feel like this is like a winter album. Like you're in the cold of winter. Like you just got done listening to TSO.
6 feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah, you're putting on the Nightwish. But hey, I liked it. I thought it was good, but I wasn't in the. I could tell that it was good, but I wasn't in the right mood to truly appreciate it. I'll say, especially after I had listened to this after your album, Dad. I won't spoil what that is, but. I don't think that was the best listening order for me to go in. But I will tell you somebody who loves this band, Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. He raves about this band. He says the album has weight, classical music, and even a bit of Disney, and I could definitely hear the Disney in it. I mean, the second song name checks Peter Pan a bunch of times, so it's all. I think this is one of the best albums I've ever heard in my entire life. He says. Oh, that was the Dark Passion Play he's talking about. He says Story of Time is a fantastic start to the music immediately. The more he heard it, the more he loved it. So, like, Steve Harris really likes it, so it can't be bad. And it's good. I definitely, if I was in the right mood, I would have loved it.
And I've seen, people talking about this band, so you're automatically like, wow, there's got to be something about this band and all these people are talking about this band. So maybe I'll look into something other than this album.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe it'll help me out. Maybe.
Okay.
Dad, I know you were a big Nightwish fan.
I absolutely love this fucking album. I think it is phenomenal. I love it. I love the symphonic metal. I love the bigness of it, the huge production of it. I love the vocals. I love there's nothing that I don't say there's nothing that I don't like about this album, but there's more that I love about this album than I dislike.
So would you say this was your favorite album to listen to this?
We're gonna determine that at the end of the show.
Okay.
And
keep your cards close to the vest.
Yep. I'm just gonna go over a couple things real quick here. Like you said, the first thing, Winter Magic. It's a kind of a cool little intro. Story Time, awesome. Both the guitars are so crunchy on this album. I'm like dumbfounded that you didn't like this album, BC. I'm just like fucking dumbfounded that you didn't like this fucking album.
Say it over and over.
And even like Slow Love Slow, it's not even a ballad, it's a jazz song. If you listen to that, it's a fucking jazz song. It's very cool. Ghost River, I like. Storytime, absolutely love it. Ghost River I love the chorus on that, is fucking phenomenal. I Want My Tears Back, I love I want to say it's an Irish bagpipe that the guy plays on it. Like we had at your wedding.
Right. It's not a regular bagpipe.
Right. It's a different type of bagpipe.
It's a smaller, higher pitch.
And it sounds so great in that song. I love it. And Dylan said that they said about the Disney aspect of it. And I Want My Tears Back, they mentioned Mary Costa singing or something like that. She's a Broadway singer that was the voice for Princess Aurora in the Sleeping Beauty movie from Disney.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. So that's a Disney tie-in right there. And you have that, and you have talking about Peter Pan, and I think it's just fucking cool. I never thought we'd talk about anything about fucking Peter Pan on this fucking show.
I did talk about Disney before, and that guitar.
Scare Tale, friggin' cool. There's if you look into the lyrics on some of these things, it's very, very cool. Scare Tale is an amazing song. There's a couple instrumentals on it. Aberesque, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's not too bad.
It's pronounced burlesque.
Mermaid.
Rescom, it's kind of mid-tempo. I can live without that one. But it's just a phenomenal album. The second last song, Song of Myself, it's got a lot of spoken word in it. Some of it's cool, some of it's thought-provoking, some of it's really odd. But I absolutely...
Some of it's Dave Mustaine.
Some of it's Dave Mustaine. And this was the final album that... and that Ozone. Why do I keep saying Ozone? Because we probably just talked about Ace. Olsen sang on, and I think her voice is absolutely amazing, and I loved it. I thought it was fucking great. And my I'll get into that part when I do my album, but I just absolutely love it.
And who replaced her?
Floor Jansen. Who was phenomenal, who was amazing. They've never had a bad vocalist in that band. Just amazing. Just go back and listen to the other albums, and they have a live album that just came out, and it's phenomenal. It's from Bannon.
Of course.
Well, the first time I listened to it, I was on BC side. I'm like, there's a waste of an hour. I'm not going to get back because I absolutely hated it. The second time I listened to it, I'm like, it's not bad. And by the third time it started kind of sinking in a little bit. Like BC said, it's very busy. I don't think any of the songs sound the same. Like Storytime sounds like ABBA / theater / Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Like, that's in one song.
I like the ABBA. Her vocals
Yeah.
are
And then like Ghost River, like the guitar tune in the beginning is really cool, and then I think it turns into like a King Diamond song when she starts singing. And you said Slow Love Slow, that's like a jazz club song. So now you have like ABBA, King Diamond, and a jazz back to back to back. So you get, this album is extremely busy. Want My Tears Back is probably my favorite song on the album because Steve said the Irish bagpipes had a really cool sound through the whole song. And then Turn Loose the Mermaids, another kind of Irish ending song. And then Rest Calm, he sounds like Michael Sweet. So now you have all of this in like a potluck of an album, and
It's thrown in the blender.
yeah, it was all right. I probably won't dig into any deeper. It didn't really catch my ear. It's just very busy for me.
A little too eclectic.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need it simple.
All right, cool.
So it seems like you were the only one to unabashedly like the album.
I did. I loved it, and
I think if I was in a different frame of mind, and if I didn't listen to your album before it, I would have appreciated
yeah,
it.
they are a band that I need to be in the mood to listen to them.
Yeah.
But I do have to say that I was very familiar with this album, and I like when he pulled out Nightwish out of the thing, I'm like, fucking yes. And when we take a break, we're gonna discuss the bands, all the band. We'll talk about the bands real quick after the gem, the other bands that we could have picked.
Oh, okay. Now, before, I think it'd be cool to end each band we talk about by asking the person, based on this album, would you listen to this band again?
No.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Dylan, would you listen to this band?
I think I would. I think I'd be willing to check them out because there's a lot of really awesome stuff in here, and
Well, there definitely is, but I mean, the overall package did
it's not to your style.
And maybe I'm a very mood type person. I mean, I might listen to fucking death metal and then like like country rock or something the next day. I mean,
Why'd you put it be for country rock?
Just because.
Yeah.
Just because.
but just over at that, and I was so maybe I had myself too pumped up. I don't know. I mean, 'cause I was like, yeah. I was like, man, okay. Like that first winter music. I was like, oh,
What the hell is this?
okay. And maybe I don't know. Maybe it just. But I listened to it more than. There's parts of it. Pick out the guitar, pick out the bag, and the rest.
Right.
The overall package did not draw me in.
What about you, BB?
I do not think I would. I don't think I would indulge just the simple concept of it's an extremely busy album, and there's so many layers. Like you can barely hear like the guitar in half of these songs, and sometimes you don't even know if there is a guitar. It's just it's very stacked up, and it just didn't really catch my ear. So I don't think I would.
I have to say though that to your comment there that this is their most quotation busy album, I would say.
Okay.
A lot of their other stuff has like a lot of that elements in it, but like not as much as this one.
Okay.
They have a lot, and like I said, when BC pulled Nightwish out of the thing, I'm like fucking yes, because I'm very familiar with these guys, and I've always liked them, and actually when I do a playlist every now and then. I'll go through and I'll go through my things, and I will put Ghost River and I Want My Tears Back and Scary Tale and Story Time on a playlist, just of for a mix there. Right. And I actually think that my wife, like even actually when they come on, she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you put this on there." There's check out their other stuff. I'll keep going because it's my pick next. One of my criteria for doing these albums was. When I got done with this album, would I dig deeper into the catalog? And Dylan, you hit it right on the head. And the band that I'm doing, I'll answer that right off the bat. No fucking way. When the first time that I listened to this, we went on a wine trip a couple weeks ago, and I made a playlist of the albums that we're talking about tonight. Let me look it up real.
Now I know why you were so cranky that day.
Let me look it up. No, I didn't listen to it till the way home.
Now I know why he's cranky on the way home.
How the fuck would you guys know? You fucking guys were passed the fuck out when we were going home, by the way.
I was resting my ass.
We're just making sure there wasn't any holes in our eyes.
Yeah, the first album that I had on the playlist was BB's, and then Dylan's, and then mine, because I put the Nightwish one on last because I knew that one before. And I listened to the other two. I was like, I'll give you my opinions on them later. But I got to mine, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, now I know why I really didn't get into these guys. And I've talked about these guys a little bit a couple episodes ago. And the album the band that I picked, and now mind you, these are bands that we're not into or listen to that other people are. The band I picked was Slipknot, and the album is Iowa. I said to Dylan today, I said, I kind of feel old listening to this because I'm thinking, this is just fucking noise. It's just fucking noise, this album. There's like drums on there that sounds like they're banging on fucking garbage cans, and it's fucking crazy. And the first song is 515. It's
the area code for Des Moines.
The area code for Des Moines, Iowa. Like, okay, all right. And it's just this noisy fucking thing.
It does have one word of a lyric. It's death.
Death, yeah.
Over and over.
It was released in August 28, 2001. And produced by Ross Robinson and Slipknot. And I guess they had a hell of a time recording this album. There was a lot of fighting going on in the band. Bassist Paul Gray was still alive. And
he didn't die until later.
Yeah.
This is only their second album.
Drummer Joey Jordison, they were the ones that were writing a bulk of the stuff for the band. And they were pissed off because the other guys in the band had downtime, and these guys were still working on songs, and they were recording it, but it's just like, what the fuck? Like, the second song is People Equal Shit. It's an okay song. People equal shit. And I'm thinking, this album equals shit. And it's, but like, that's like the best song on the album. I'm like, fuck.
That's good.
I'm like, I hate it, but it's like the best of the worst. And it doesn't get any, like, all right, Disaster Piece, the next song it's not bad. It's, the lyrics are actually pretty cool in that song. Definitely you could see a fucking pit and people getting the fuck beat out of them, while they're playing this song. My Plague, there's actual background vocals in that, and they're a little melodic, which was surprising after the first two fucking songs. But what is I Plague Myself, they say in that. I'm not really sure what plaguing yourself is. I'm not really sure what the fuck that is. Everything Ends, I actually like that one. It's got a cool rocking version. It's got a good breakdown in the middle. That is my favorite song on there, Everything Ends. Heretic Anthem, it's not bad. My 555 is your 666, which is, you're devil worshippers. Bad. Generally it's not great. It kicks in at the end, takes way too long to kick the fuck in. Left Behind, not bad. It's okay. The Shape, I like the chorus. I thought they were saying samurai, but it's separate. I'm like, wow, they're singing like, I'm like, is this like trivia? They're singing like, samurai. I'm like, and I look at it and I'm like, they're saying separate. I'm like, okay. I Am Hated. It's got like walkie-talkie vocals, crazy song. It's not too bad. The lyrics are really long in that fucking song. Skin Ticket, way too long. Crazy, weird shit going on in that song. New Abortion, brutal song. Not bad though. I guess I didn't really totally hate it, but in Metabolic, that one, I didn't even make a note for that one, so I must have really fucking hated that one. But there's a fucking serious lack of guitar solos on this fucking album. There's a couple songs that I listen to and I'm like, that would be so much better if there's a guitar solo there. Like, I don't know, maybe this type of music, and I don't listen to much of it, like lends itself to not having that shit, maybe like and it's got that tinny Saint Anger sound to it also, I thought, that I guess lends itself to having no guitar solos. And that night when we were coming home from the wine tour and I was listening to it, I turned down. It fucking hurt my fucking ears listening to it with the fucking headphones on. It really did. It fucking hurt my ears.
Me and BC couldn't even sleep.
But when you listen to this album all the way through, by the time you get to like the fifth or sixth song, it all sounds the same. And like I said, my main criteria is would I listen to more of their stuff if I had to go by just this album? Absolutely not. It was when it got over, I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I'm like, all right, I probably should have listened to it again. And I didn't listen to it right in a row because there's no way I could have did that. I would have ran out in traffic. But not good, people. I'm sorry, Slipknot fans. However, Dylan did make a little playlist today for me of like 8 songs that are from other albums. I guess this is their most brutal album.
Yeah, this is their heaviest album.
There were a couple songs that Dylan put on that playlist that I knew that weren't bad, but I don't see myself buying a Slipknot shirt and putting on the skin mask and going out and rocking.
You've done your time and you want out.
I do.
According to the
you do your time. You do 2 days. The first day and the day you get the fuck out. I'm out.
Well, I'm going to say this album was not good. I went to take notes down. I wrote down...
I see a lot of blank space there.
I wrote down 515 was an instrumental. I wrote down People Eat Shit. I didn't write anything after that. Then I wrote Disaster Piece. Nothing after that. I wrote song number 8, Left Behind. 50-50 Cookie Monster, regular voice. That's all I wrote. And this album is way too heavy for me. This is way out of my wheelhouse. I'm not a fan of this kind of music. And I know I wasn't coming in. I knew it probably could have been an all ballad thing, and I know I wasn't going to like it because it's just Slipknot in the back of my head. It's just like Cookie Monster. You can't understand the instruments that they're playing on, and it's just my opinion. It's just my taste in music. You know, it just I don't get it. I get it. I don't understand it, and I don't like it. So probably after song 8, I think I stopped listening to the album. So I didn't even give it a chance to go all the way through the Iowa number 14.
Iowa.
So whoever picked this album, I am sorry I didn't listen to it all. Not.
You saved yourself a lot of misery and a lot of brain cells.
Okay, here's this band Slipknot. I don't know when Tattoo the Earth festival was.
Early 2000s, probably.
It came to Montage.
Early 2000s.
These guys were co-headlining with maybe Seven Dust. I don't know. They were that night of the show. They were headlining it. They came out and I was just like, "What the hell is this?" And I said, for the first time in my life, I said, "I'm getting old because this doesn't sound like music to me." At one point in the show, it was just, which kind of.
Like you're dropping the transmission on your,
just
your
like
car.
that. Anyway, so that was my first experience with this band. So I was kind of turned off from that to see him live. So I throw this album on and 515 and People Eat Shit is probably
People equal shit.
Equal eat. It's all the same thing when it comes to this album. But that's probably
This album made BC eat shit. Holy God!
I ate shit after that.
Oh, did I?
Anyways, like I said, it's some of the lyrics I like what he's saying, but there's not the music to back it up. From my taste, I'm not saying it's not somebody else's cup of tea, but that's always decent, and everything ends, and maybe Left Behind was one of the, other than that, I guess, I think Steve said, it sounds a lot just the same, and to me that turns me right off.
It does. It gets very monotonous as you go along.
It turns me right off, and the music's just not there for me. My taste, the music. I mean, the best thing to me about this album was the lyrics. I like some of the things,
Some of lyrically there was some cool stuff on there.
I like some
thought-provoking stuff.
Yes,
lyrically,
but the music was there to carry
to make you want to listen to it.
Exactly, but that was my. And I worked the concert years later, and they were on the bill, and it was still the same. So.
I think
Dylan enjoyed this album.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually did enjoy the album.
Tell us how you really feel, buddy.
I think I'm going to be the lone person here saying that I actually did like this album. It's self-indulgent at times. Iowa doesn't like the song itself does not need to be 15 minutes long, and there are times where they could definitely use some editing. But I think the instrumentation actually works really well on most of the songs. Yeah, it's a little. I mean, there's 8 members of the band. Like,
Yeah.
You need to fit them all in there, and there's a lot. You can tell there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of just like shit that they need to get out on this album, and they really did. I mean, Ross Robinson got into, and I was listening to the Roach Coach podcast, and they did this album for, I believe, their 50th episode, and they talked about that Ross Robinson actually got into a dirt bike accident and fractured his back.
I wish you had told me that. I would have listened to it before we came on.
We'll check it out afterwards. He fractured his back, and he went into the studio like the day after, and nobody else in the band was there, and he was pissed off, and he's like, "Listen, fuckers, if you guys need to, like, if I'm going to be here with this fractured back, you're going to be here too." So according to from what I heard from the Roach Coach guys, Ross Robinson really kind of wrangled them in because they were all feeling high and mighty after their big success of the first album. But I genuinely did enjoy this album. I was really jamming out. I do love some aggressive stuff, and this is really like an album to beat somebody up to. Actually, Left Behind got nominated for a Grammy for Best Metal Performance. It lost to Tool's Schism. But I think the thing that sums it up the best, there was a review in, I believe, Alternative Press. Yes. And the review goes like this. It's like having a plastic bag taped over your head for an hour while Satan uses your scrotum as a speed bag. It's over the top. You're going to be left in stitches. So I think that's...
Does that mean my eardrum is in stitches?
It's definitely not an album if you're looking for some soothing music. It's an album like if you're angry at the world and you just want to have like a nice release of music. This is the album to listen to. I think it's cool. I like it a lot. There was some stuff that I thought was a little okay guys, let's bring it back a notch. But for the most part, I genuinely enjoyed a lot of these songs on here, and I might say that it might be one of my favorites that we listened to today.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
See, that's what I love about the age difference here. Like, you guys are on this usually on the same page. I'm a little bit to the left of this page, and then you have your own page, which is amazing because you bring us all together. Because at least somebody here liked this album.
I don't think it's their best album, but I like it a lot.
I don't follow them, so I don't know albums from...
I honestly think All Hope Is Gone has more of their more accessible songs, I'll say.
Because I've been places and the music's going and you're not there, not at a concert, just music in the background, a bar or event or whatever, and you hear, so he goes, Slipknot, and they'll be like, I mean, there's songs I can listen to. It's not like, oh my God, this is horrible. But I don't know if I get into it.
And I think Corey Taylor is an awesome lyricist. Like, I love his lyrics.
Right.
Like, like you said, some of the lyrics are pretty thoughtful.
Great, they are. And I love the Stone Shower shit. I fucking absolutely love Stone Shower.
He's phenomenal on this album, lyric-wise.
But you mentioned something to me about Corey Taylor's vocal range, Dylan.
Corey Taylor apparently has, either the third most or second, highest vocal range. He goes from a F1 to a G5. He was named 7th greatest heavy metal frontman by Enemy, but I heard somewhere that he has one of the highest, the largest ranges for his voice, and I can believe it because he can go from the growl to soaring vocals. You're not gonna hear the soaring vocals on this Slipknot album, but just how he's able to just go from "Come get your shit" to these really high vote He's a talent, just all around. And
yeah, he is. I think he's great. And he was a great front man, too. When we saw him with Stone Sour when he opened up for Ozzy.
Chucking water bottles out to the crowd.
He was cool, yeah. Aquafina must be sponsoring him or something. Aquafina. Take a sip and throw it the fuck out. But I like doing episodes like this. And actually, even when we did the worst of the best, was it?
The worst of the best.
The worst of the best.
Yeah.
This album definitely fucking reminded me of this. I would rather go back and listen to Faster Pussycat Whipped than have to listen to Slipknot Iowa again.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I will take.
I'll take Iowa over all those
I will
albums
take-
except Kilroy was here.
I'm on the lane train. I'm on the first class ticket to nowhere any day over people equal shit.
No. Not Stop to Nowhere is like 10 minutes long. People Equal Shit's only like a 4-minute song.
That's just me. I can only speak for myself.
No.
It is a brutal album. It really is. It's an assault on your fucking ears and your senses, I would say. We like to kind of go outside of what we normally do, you know? I mean,
because hard rock and metal isn't just what we like.
No.
It
And I'm not, believe me, and I'm not putting down anybody that is a fan of Slipknot out there. You know, you love what you love. You dig what you dig. It's not for me. And like I said before, like I want to go by how I looked at these albums. Like when I got done listening to them, do they make me want more to listen to these bands? And Slipknot, I'm sorry, it's not happening for this one. Nightwish, like I said, I was familiar with them already, and I love them anyways. So, what
is that going to be the same for everybody but me? I'm going to assume that you want to listen to more Slipknot after this.
Probably
this
not.
album. Okay. I'll have to share that playlist that I made for him.
Yeah,
again, like
it's
you
not.
said,
I mean, there's some good
Put it on our
songs.
Spotify.
But
I can do that.
Yeah, and you guys out there, if you don't know, if you haven't noticed, we do a Spotify playlist every week from our show now, and we play songs that we talk about, and some of the bands that we talk about. We may play some stuff that we didn't talk about, and which we will do this week. And
I want to put a disclaimer about this playlist, though. I'm not like really deep into Slipknot, so a lot of the songs are pretty surface level stuff, but they are different from this album.
Right. So check out our playlist on Spotify. It's actually it's pretty cool. It's in the link will be on with our show.
Yep.
And it's cool because actually I listened to the Ace ones, and they were cool. They were really really cool to listen to. And actually I think the Ace playlist, I think I'm going to download that onto my phone so I can listen to that on the plane going to the Kiss Cruise. So, all right, we're 2 down. We got 2 to go. So we had one awesome one, as far as I'm concerned, and one not so awesome one. And BC, you're like 0 for 2 here.
striking out here.
BB, you're like 1.5 to 1, maybe. Dylan,
I'm 1.5.
1.5 to 1. So, hope you let us know what you guys think. Are you a Slipknot fan? Do you think we're insane? Are you going to come to our house with
Well, do you think the
torches
three
and
of-
pitchforks and fucking kill us?
If you do come to remember that I liked it, so give me a chance to get out of my dad's house. So then,
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Make sure
And,
Dylan gets out of the way.
I hope that at least if you are not familiar with these albums out there, that go check them out and form your own opinion. Let us know what you guys think about these albums. And that takes us right into our hidden gem. All right, we're going to start our hidden gems with one of the Killer Bees, BB.
John Belushi. What? Because that was like one of the sketches from SNL, The Killer Bees.
That's
Oh,
right.
okay. All right.
Okay,
I
fine.
know.
Go ahead.
I'm not an SNL guy. I'm
Fucking
just not.
Killjoy.
But that was when they were
That
good
was-
back in the 70s.
Boy, there were crickets on that one. Holy shit. And we're older. You think we would know that?
Maybe me
It's one
and
of the
you
most
get like.
iconic images is him in the bee outfit smoking a cigarette.
Maybe we can go as bees. I'll be John Belushi. You could be like Dan Aykroyd.
There you go.
You could be burnout. Well, there's no B in Dan Aykroyd.
But he was he was in the
Yeah, I see you. There.
Oh,
All right.
I don't know.
Killer Bees sketches.
Yeah, back to our hidden gems. All right.
All right, people.
All right, let's go back to 1988.
Fucking plates.
We're going to talk about a band called Banshee. Banshee. From the album Race Against Time, we're going to talk about the song Shoot Down the Night. Great melodic power metal ballad. It just rocks your socks off. Probably the best thing that I listened to all day today. Since this is my little genre here.
Spoiler for the rest of the podcast.
They originated from Kansas City, Kansas. They have 4 albums out. You know, a bunch of former members. You know, nothing famous. You know, they never really made it big at all. They released an EP in '86 and 3 LPs, 89, 2012. They released one in also 1992. Another one of those bands that kind of got lost in the shuffle back in the day. So, yeah, definitely Shoot Down the Night by Banshee. Check it out.
All right. Anybody else familiar with that, BC?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm not. I have no idea.
Really?
No.
I've
heard the name.
I mean, they never were huge by no means, but they're always on.
Yeah, they actually had a video for this.
Yeah,
for this
they
song.
always played. What was on Saturday nights? God damn it!
Headbangers Ball.
Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
And I found
That's why I don't know Saturday Night Live. I was watching Headbangers Ball.
It was always on.
It sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to. I'll look it up. I'll post it.
The last half hour show.
Send me the name of the song.
It was on
What's
Dash.
the name of
It was on Dash Radio on the Strip.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I listen to Monsters Rock most of the time on that.
Oh, see,
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is "Shoot Down the Night."
Shoot down the night.
I can't wait.
Probably not how it goes. All right, Dylan, since you're so talkative, you go next.
My Hidden Gem is a cover song that a band did. The band is Coheed and Cambria. Sorry, everybody. I'm on a Coheed.
Can we just talk about them?
We did. And they were opening for Iron Maiden on the Made in England tour, and they covered Heaven and Hell. And it's a really awesome version. Claudio's vocals in it are just amazing. Really reach the levels of Ronnie's. And he does during the slower part before the fast part. Claudio and his guitarist Trevor do kind of dueling guitar solos leading into the fast part, and then the fast part is really awesome too. It's a really cool version of the song, staying faithful to it but adding a little extra rockage into it as well. Just a band that shows their chops. They also do a really fun 30-second version of the Ghostbusters theme with an inflatable Slimer and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on stage in another video. It's kind of fun.
That's cool. Actually, Dylan sent me the video of the Heaven and Hell. It was good. I mean, they tore it up. Plus, I love the guitar player played a Gibson Explorer, which is awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
And actually, Claudio does the Steve Harris. Too.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you guys haven't heard that, right? No.
it's good. Check it out.
And that's a no for BB. He's bartending at the moment. All right. BC, you're next, right? Yeah, go ahead, BC.
Okay. Probably a few weeks now. By now, I was in our local record store, and music's playing every time you go in there. And I'm looking around, and the music's catching my ear. So I asked the guy, "Who is this?" He goes, "It's a band called The Sword."
Oh shit!
So I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "You want to buy the CD? It's $4." It was 2010's Warp
Riders.
concept
Yes.
album, which I said, $4. I'll take it. I mean, but the band's formed in 2003, Austin, Texas. Considered doom metal, I guess, but I don't know what that is. And some labeled them as hipster metal. I'm going, what the fuck is hipster metal? Anyways, they're very
They're a little proggy, right?
They have almost a stoner metal vibe at times.
And they're labeled stoner metal.
Yeah.
Which
Or
was
it's kinda
okay because Black Sabbath was labeled that too, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like it. And I've
The Sword is good.
Starting to delve into some of their. I didn't know. I mean, I never heard of them until that day.
Because I remember BC told me that probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. He said, I got a good gym. This is when he had a phone call when he was on assignment. He was able. I was actually honored that I was his one phone call that he actually had, and he told me about The Sword. And I had heard of them, and I had listened to that album before, and I liked it, but I don't know why I didn't continue with them. It's really good. It is good. So check it out, The Sword, Warp Riders.
Yep.
Dylan was like, holy shit. Dylan's face was like,
That was literally the first album I listened to them back in 2010. I checked these guys out, and that's a really good album. I really
it was very cool.
Even the album looks like it's from the 70s.
It does.
It's
like
very
the painted-
Atari game.
Yeah.
It's like a futuristic picture of a space thing that maybe the guy that painted the Molly Hatchet albums would paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the Atari games back in the day when
Yeah.
some space when it'd be on the
Right,
the label,
right, like the Fender.
Yeah.
All right, cool, good pick, BC.
Yeah.
My
Attaboy.
turn. We've talked about this band a couple times, but I want to throw this out there. It's a band that BC and I have checked out a bunch of times. I don't know if BB is familiar with them. Dylan's probably not. A band called Rough Cut.
Oh, yeah.
Their second album, Wants You, Rough Cut Wants You, came out in 1986. The first album was great. This is a good progression. I don't think it's better than the first album, but it goes along. It's a decent sophomore album.
It's a sophomore album that was
It's
probably a victim of the time.
Victim of the times.
Because they
86
went from like jeans and stuff to like
to glam. Yeah,
very
because
glamish.
when they had the first album out, I saw them live. They opened up for Accept and Rough Cut. I'm sorry, not Accept and Rough Cut. They opened up for Crocus and Accept. They were the first band on the bill. And they come out and they were, some leather, but like like denim and leather. They were going the Saxon route, denim and leather. And then when Wants You came out, I saw them open up for Dio the second time on the Sacred Heart tour when they put Intermission out, when Craig Goldie was in the band, and they opened up for them in Bethlehem, and they were all glammed out. They were a total change of image when they toured for this album. But musically, it's really good. Sounds like Rockin' the USA, Don't Settle for Less, Hot and Heavy is really good. We Like It Loud, Double Trouble. There's just there's some great sons on that
Very good
album. I
songs
think
on that.
it's very good. Paul Sortino is just an amazing singer. After they did this album, they broke up, and then he did the Quiet Riot album.
yes, in '89.
Yeah, it's
Is this the album? There's like a
Dilemma.
spider web?
no, that's the first
that's
one.
the first
That's
one.
the first one. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's self-titled.
That's phenomenal.
That is great. That was an
The
album
second
that came
one's
out.
good too.
Yeah.
They're both great albums, but I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that, and like
That's what I was
BB
looking
said,
at.
Gooby heard Rough Cut and he thought the first album, but
Right.
they do have a second album, and it is really good.
Limousine.
Yeah, it's got the limousine with like the, it's a drawing, but the girl's kind of hot in there.
We got
See
it
that,
vinyl.
BB?
I got that in vinyl. It's pretty more fun.
Do you really? You suck ass.
Well, not.
All right, so there's our hidden gems. You guys check them out. We got the Sword Warp Riders for BC. We got Banshee,
Shoot down
the Night, and I can't read my own writing here, BB. I'm sorry. Cool.
Can't wait.
They're not talking. Dylan's got Coheed and Cambria, their version of Heaven and Hell, which I have seen is very cool. It's alive. It's a video. It's on YouTube.
Yep.
And I have Rough Cut, Want You. And very, very cool stuff. You guys check that out.
Damn
If
it,
you
you
if you
need to
guys
see it.
have a hidden gem that you want us to check out, send us a message on Facebook. You can email us at potterthanhellpodcast@gmail.com. Any kind of questions, or if you guys, if you want to come on the show, if you got a cool idea for a show, maybe we'll get you on here. Send us a message on Facebook. Like I said, potterthanhellpodcast@gmail.com. You can email us, and maybe we can get together and do something with you guys out there. We love interaction with everybody, and we do these hidden gems for a reason. We hope that it's something extra besides what we talk about for the night that you guys would want to check out. So definitely give it a try. And let's get back into our albums. And Dylan, you're next.
Yes.
What do you got for us?
So this is a band that I did realize I had heard many times on the radio before, but I had never really delved into them. I've never really listened to an album of them. I had heard Fake It and Rise Above This on the radio from them quite a bit, and I heard some of these songs on this album as well. The band that I picked was Seether. The album Holding On to Strings, Better Left to Fray. Really cool album cover, which was actually designed by the same guy that did the Use Your Illusion covers for Guns N' Roses. So that was a cool thing that I noted. This album was pretty good. Eventually, it kind of all sounded like just typical aught rock, is what I like to call it. Just like the 2000s, 2010 rock on the radio kind of stuff. Nothing that really was like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, there was some stuff that was. That kind of grabbed me. Let me get to my notes on this one. I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be, because I don't know why I always associated Seether with like the lesser type bands on the radio, but I liked it. Like Country Song was a different kind of song than you normally hear from these kinds of bands, so that was cool. Here and Now, for some reason, the chorus kind of reminded me of Anytime from MSG. A little bit, a tiny bit.
Okay.
But I'd heard those two before. I remember hearing them on the radio quite a bit. The main riff from Master of Disaster sounds like a riff from my old band, from a song that we used to do called Hell I've Earned. I don't know why. Just jumped into my head. Tonight, I could almost see being a Foo Fighters song. Like, I could almost see Dave Grohl singing. Is that what you put for it?
Look at
Another Foo Fighters like song. Wow. Yeah, like it almost felt like a walk, like learning to walk, kind of like that. Fade Out's pretty good. Roses is a little bit of a boring song until the middle part. The middle part is really cool, and the end is really cool. I mean, the album just kind of blends together after a while. It's okay. It was a fun listen. I couldn't really hum you any of the tunes except for Country Song and Here and Now, I'm gonna say. But judging from this album, I think I would check out Seether, especially since they do a cover of Careless Whisper. Because George Michael's was just an amazing musician. So good. But okay, Dad.
All right. Yeah. Well, I actually saw these guys live on this tour.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they played the I don't want to say the Rockstar concert series or whatever the hell it was called.
Rockstar concert series.
Yeah, it was Avenged Sevenfold, and it was Seether, Bull for My Valentine, Avenged Sevenfold, and someone else good was in there too. 3 Days Grace, I want to say, played on that. And I had listened to this album before, and the Country Song is probably my favorite song on there, and that's a standout song on that album, I think, because it's so different from everything else on there. For a cue, good vocals, good start. The harmonies are pretty good. It's got a good heavy riff in it. No resolution, good driving riff. Here and Now, mid-tempo, pretty melodic. That's the song that has the title of the album in the lyrics, by the way. Master Disaster, it's a power ballad. Kind of can get away from it. Tonight, very Foo Fighters like, and definitely the hit of the album, I would say. Like the most radio friendly thing. Very melodic. Pass It Slowly was okay. The vocals are very strong in that. It's got it's actually got a very powerful guitar solo in it that would be. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't have that. I said a powerful guitar solo would be perfect for this song. And that's a song that if that's had a good guitar solo in it would totally be fucking excellent. Fade Out, not bad. Another Foo Fighters sounding song. Roses, great vocals. It's okay. The guitar solo, there's sort of a guitar solo in that song. And Down, and that's another different sounding song for this album. It does have an actual guitar solo in that song. Desire, it's got a heavy beginning. It's good. A heavy ending. The middle kind of sucks ass. Forsaken, another mid-tempo. Another very Foo Fighters sounding like song. And Dylan's right. It reminds me theme-wise of the Slipknot album. It just sounds the same after you get halfway through. You're like, it's like, I think it would have been better if it was like a 5-song EP and you didn't have all the other songs that sounded like the first 5 songs. It's not bad, and I love the Country Song. That's a song that I've been putting on playlists for a couple of years now, actually, since then. But they're a good band live. They were really good live. Like I said, I saw them on that tour. It's not bad. It would maybe get me to check out some other stuff, like if it came up like on a playlist or in any internet radio station and see that. I say, I'll check this out and see if I like it. I'm not going to go out and buy anything, but not bad.
BB.
Yeah, definitely. After listening to the first two we talked about tonight, when we got to Seether, the first song, For Cure, I thought it was a great opening song. I said the melody with the guitar and the drums really worked good together, and I like the singer's voice. So now at least now we're not getting the Cookie Monster. At least you're not getting all the stacked up.
Well, you know who he used to date? Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Oh, okay. So that's where he gets it. But yeah, I love this voice, and it's funny. I wrote a couple notes down, like Here and Now. I said it'd be a great radio song, and then Tonight would be another great radio song. And I see that they actually released them. So they're on the right page with that. it's an alright album. You know, nothing really thrilled me. A lot of it kind of started blended together, getting through. They almost kind of, it ran together. It kind of sounded the same, like the, what did you call it? The alternative.
Alt rock or
Alt
elk
rock.
rock or
Oh,
something.
Ot rock. I call
Ot
it
rock.
like the Ot, like double Ot.
Right.
Spell
It just
that. Oh,
seemed
zero,
like it-
zero. Oh,
Yeah, like the odd, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I call
it
it
just
Ot
seemed
rock.
like it just kind of the same one
Nice.
song, and it just kind of ran into the other. And to me, it just kind of all sounded the same.
Oh, yeah, Seether. Okay, I'm gonna say it, man. I got back into these guys back in 2002 with their first album, man, first full album, Disclaimer. I was into them back then, and then they came out 2004, Disclaimer 2, and Karma and Effect, and Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces.
I think that's their most popular, Finding Beauty. That's like when they hit Finding Beauty. in
Yeah,
Negative
Karma and
Spaces.
Effect kind of put them, but they really did over the top. I've seen these guys twice live. Great live band. I mean, I've always been a fan of these guys, but I kind of as life takes you in different ways. I did not own this album. I've heard the songs. Like Tonight was on the radio, I think. But I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I guess I can throw this on. But like I said, after a while, when you get down after Pass Slowly, it starts to get the same feel. But again, I can put it on. And it's good.
It's not horrible.
It's not horrible. No,
It was an easy listen.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Here and Now and the country song and like
I want to say I'll say it's the most forgettable out of the 4 albums we covered.
Yeah.
Is maybe the moniker I'd give it.
I'll agree. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Not that like that's like
You don't have.
terrible
It's the
thing.
album that you don't have the strong feelings about.
Yeah. It's like it's good. I,
agree.
liked it.
It's not
It
bad.
was-
It's not my favorite.
If somebody put it on, I
you
wouldn't
can throw it on.
off.
You're not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody put it on, I wouldn't
skip.
turn it off. Like go out of my way to turn it off.
I like their earlier stuff, but I mean this was not bad.
Yeah. He was less yelly in this one, from what I've heard. he was a little more yelly in the past ones.
All right. So now, Dylan, would this make you want to listen to more Seether, or just?
I think I would check out Seether more from this album.
BB.
I think I would as well. You know, I really like the singer's voice, whatever. I'm not sure what his name is, but he really had he really caught my ear with his vocals. So maybe, you know, if some of these songs don't sound so much the same,
Right.
you know, all the way
Sean-
down to
Sean
like the
Morgan.
song Sean Morgan.
Sean-
And we know BC's.
Listen to Karis Whisper. I mean.
Yeah, we know. I've heard that too. It's very good, and we know BC has checked these guys out. And speaking of Sean Morgan, there was just a post the other day that they want to do a Nirvana reunion, and a lot of people want Sean Morgan to be the vocalist for that.
Well, there was already a Nirvana reunion.
Well, I mean, like if they
At
to like
Cal
a rehash of them or something.
Yeah.
There was something going on where people wanted him to be the Kurt Cobain guy for that.
Well, they
And,
had, I think they had Joan Jett help.
I
them.
personally don't give a flying fuck about Nirvana. I think they're extremely overrated. They have some very cool songs, but I think they're extremely overrated. So
Agree to
that's
disagree
another
on that
discussion
one.
for another day. Maybe that was a band I should have picked.
You should-
No, but then I would have had to listen to them. Sorry, Chris.
Hey, Nirvana has guitar solos in a lot of their songs.
They do,
That's
they do. And-
Apparently,
and,
your criteria for a good album.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
I mean,
We're showing our age.
I respect Nirvana, but to come back with this guy,
Yeah.
I don't.
I think we should let Nirvana be Nirvana.
I agree.
exactly.
As a Nirvana fan,
I
I
did- I
agree.
mean-
I think it should just be.
Let them lie.
'Cause
Like
Dave's doing-
I'm sorry, like Pantera.
If they want to do shows and play
Dave and-
tribute, but not come
Dave-
back,
Not come back
try
and
to
say
do
this is
Nirvana.
right.
Dave and Pat are doing great with Foo Fighters.
Yeah. And
Chris
I feel
Novoselic
that's
is doing great
Yep.
with his. I think he's not governor, but he's like in the political sphere in Seattle. So he's like an elected official.
Okay.
So and he's the bassist, Chris Novoselic.
I know that.
Yeah. So should we move on to the last album?
Let's move on to
of the night?
and BB, you're up last. Go ahead. This
Lift us up.
turned
Yes.
out. This turned out exactly how I wanted it to.
Yes, because we definitely saved the best for last in this. And my album is from Five Finger Death Punch. And the album is The Wrong Side of Heaven, The Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 1. Not 2 BC, Volume 1. Because they also released a Volume 2, so it must have been like
Volume 2 has some great songs on it.
I did listen to 2.
Yeah, 2 is as good as 1, because this is the only band that made me actually move down the line and listen. But
I think 2 ends stronger than 1. But I will continue.
Yeah, true. So this album, it was released July 30th, 2013. The producers were Kevin Chirko and Five Finger Death Punch. And to me, it's the best album of the 4, in my opinion. Just a great sounding album. Every once in a while, the Cookie Monster gets a little bit too heavy for me. But they're, you know, like Steve, like Dylan was busting Steve. Like there's guitars, there's drums. You can actually hear them. You know, it's produced really well. It's level. You can actually hear every part of every instrument in the band. It just sounded really well. His first song, "Lift Me Up," his vocals actually caught my ear first, and I wrote down "finally guitars" because I can hear the guitar in this. And there's a spoken word part of this song that's really kind of cool in the chorus, and you can't beat when you have Rob Halford having a little couple verse vocal part of this song. Second song, Watch You Bleed. There's a lot of screaming in it, but it's not too bad. It kind of fits. It's not that high-pitched Cookie Monster stuff that we talk about. Let's skip down the Wrong Side of Heaven. It's a slower song, but it really caught my ear. I thought it was like the best song out of all 4 albums. What else? Another one, Anywhere But Here, is a really good song. It's actually, he's actually using his actual singing voice. It's none of this high-pitched screaming. And I wish I wrote down the guy's name. Ivan Moody.
Yeah, Ivan Moody.
And then it really caught my ear. And it's funny, the very last song of the album is Diary of a Madman, but it's like a spoken word song. And
Diary of a Dead Man.
Dead Man.
That's Ozzy.
Yeah. Diary of a
Man.
He was thinking Ozzy. Diary of a Dead Man.
Diary of a Madman. And it's funny. It's almost like a spoken word song. There's a great guitar solo in there, and right at the end, he just says the end. So I thought it was a really cool way to end the album. It really caught my ear.
BC?
I'm going to agree with them. Out of the 4 we did tonight, I mean, maybe it was the mood I was in. This one grabbed me the hardest. Like Lift Me Up, like you said, Watch You Believe. But for me, Burn Motherfucker, I Am Sin. Anywhere But Here, but I like the version with Maria Brink.
Yeah, from In This Moment.
She is just, I met her back in a few years back at Montage where I was working the mountain. And very down to earth, very cool. And she's like that gothic hot. And Dot Your Eyes are some of my favorites off this. And like I said, there are a few moments where you kind of get that, his vocal gets a little on you, but the music gets me. Brings me back in.
This was the one album that I had listened to before coming into this episode. Because I've always liked Five Finger Death Punch. I've been trying to get my dad to listen to them like fully for a while now because I think Ivan Moody has a really cool range in terms of his voice.
Yeah.
And I love when he does the spoken word stuff because he does that. He almost does that almost on every album. Like he does, like in Bad Company, he does the blood for blood, tooth for tooth, and like he just has that perfect like timbre for like just an epic, And you have Rob Halford. This was you could definitely tell it was Redeemer of Souls era Rob Halford because he's not doing like the high voice, but like it still really works for the song. My key song though is their cover of "Mama Said Knock You Out" with Tech Nine. I think that's an awesome version of the song. I like the original a lot. That's just me, LL Cool J. But I think they do something really cool with it. I like Tech Nine's verse of it. It's really different for the album, and it's like a fun way to bring the album towards the end. A nice little nod that this is a band that could have some fun, that could really do some good stuff. And honestly, Five Finger Death Punch does covers really well. Like they have this, they have House of the Rising Sun,
That's
which is so good.
I like their covers.
Bad Company.
Bad Company one is good.
There's what are some of the other ones? There's like another one that I'm trying to think of, but I can't remember what it is. But anyways, yeah, they do covers really well, and I really like this album. I think it's a great album from these guys. Dad?
All right.
Oh boy.
Now, I gotta say, give me fucking Slipknot any day over this fucking album.
Really?
No, I'm only kidding.
I was gonna say,
I was gonna say, holy fuck!
come on.
I listen to this album and I'm like, why am I not listening to these guys? Why am I not listening to these guys?
Exactly.
Why am I not listening to these guys? And I didn't have the time or get the chance to listen to pretty much anything else from these guys because they have a bunch of other stuff going on. But fucking great, man! Like Lift Me Up with Rob Halford. It's got a great like a dual solo going on in there. You can't go wrong with Rob Halford. Watch You Bleed. Talk about an angry fucking song. Solo fucking ripping in that song. It's got a real like. I love the fast vocals in that song. It's just like it's like kind of like machine gun fire. I think in that the vocally in that song. Wrong Side of Heaven. Listen to that song. The drums are so out in front on that album. They sound absolutely phenomenal. The production on that, just that song alone, is amazing. And I love the lyrics in that song. I spoke to God today. She said that she's ashamed. What have I done? What have I become? I spoke to the devil today. He swears he's not to blame. And I understood because I feel the same. Like, that's like cool. Very cool. Like, he's empowering women there too, which is very cool. Women are fucking awesome. And Burn Motherfucker Vern, very fucking angry, great rocker. I think I'm sure they probably do that live because that would just be a song that would just get the crowd like totally fucking jamming the fuck out. I Am Sin, excellent, another great song. Anywhere But Here. The album version with Maria Brink is kind of a waste. She sings in the chorus at the end, and she's smoking, but like the version on the bonus tracks on Maria Brink, right? She got a great voice, but like they don't really use it on like the bonus version she sings on, correct?
Yes.
I don't know why they didn't do that. I think they did her a huge disservice by not having her sing on the album release song instead of the bonus track.
They do play Burn Motherfucker live.
Do they? Oh, they have.
That's their second to last
Yeah.
song.
Dot Your Eyes is cranky. It's got a freaking great riff. Mine Ends This Way. It's a good like power ballad type song. Great vocals. The solos is okay. That's one of the lesser songs on the album, I think. Mama Said Knock You Out. For as much as that song goes, it's good. It's like polishing a turd kind of deal. I gotta say how I feel.
Still should.
Diary of a Dead Man. The talking lyrics, it's okay, but the solo at the end of that redeems the song 100-fold. And and this was the first album that I put on my playlist of this, and I'm like, holy fuck, if everything else is as good as this, it's gonna fucking rock.
And it wasn't.
And it was not. But
well, hey, Five Finger Death Punch has a new album out this year, so maybe if
they
you
do.
listen to that,
And
you might put it on your list.
well, we missed them on tour because they played, and there was a massive clusterfuck the night that they played by us. I guess there was a massive storm that came in, and actually we were just getting done with the golf tournament when that took place, and they had a massive thing at the concert where they had to bring everybody in. It was an outdoor pavilion type thing. They had to bring everybody in. People that paid hundreds of dollars for their seats up front and stuff got fucked out of their seats because they brought everybody. I mean, it was a dangerous storm that came through. And, thank God no one got hurt or struck by lightning or washed the fuck away. But it was a total clusterfuck that night, I guess, of that show. And but I would absolutely delve into more stuff of these guys, I would absolutely go see these guys live. I've been watching a couple of videos, and we talked about their covers. I love their version of House of the Rising Sun.
It's really good.
Absolutely love it. It's fucking phenomenal. They definitely turned that song up a notch. Bad Company is good. Mama Gonna Knock You Out. Mama Said Knock You Out.
Did you ever hear their cover of Blue on Black?
Blue on Black. Yes. That was yeah. And
It's on the newest one.
I love that song. But actually, there's another version of Blue on Black that I can't think of the band. They have a female singer, and they do a version of it, and it's absolutely fucking phenomenal. It actually even blows that one away. And I posted it on our Facebook page, I think, last week. I'll have to go back and look and see what that is, and I'll post it again. But I'm glad how this worked out, because I didn't want to talk about the best album being the first, and we did actually pick randomly of how we were going to talk about these albums, and like we were doing the picks. I'm like, okay, no one picked BB yet, no one picked BB yet, no one picked, and then like he's like, yes, that was good. So it worked out great, and I would absolutely listen to more stuff of these guys. And when we talked about it earlier, we said our process of how we pick these bands. Here's the bands that we all had to pick from, that we drew the names out of a hat. My picks were, and these are bands that are out there, that are popular, that we don't really know a lot about or haven't really checked out. My bands were Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, and Disturbed, which I was praying I didn't pick Disturbed out because I fucking hate them.
Maybe next episode.
I hope not. I'm going to go another pick. I'm going to do an audible, I think, if that comes up. BCs were Nightwish, Mastodon, and Lamb of God. BBs were Trivium, Slayer, and Five Finger Death Punch. Dylan's were, which shows that BB talked, the generational thing came in again there too. Dylan's picks were Triumph, House of Lords,
Nice.
and Seether. And actually, when we picked Dylan's out, he picked Seether out. I'm like, pick again. He's like, well, that won't be fair. I'm like, fucking pick again. And he picked out Seether again. So we're like, all right, we got to do Seether. So we could have been talking about Triumph or House of Lords tonight. So, but Dylan had to pick Seether fucking twice.
We could have been talking about Avenged Sevenfold. That would have been great.
But not to say that we can't revisit this. I'll just get Disturbed out of there and pick two other ones.
Now let's go around the table. What would you rank the albums that we listened to tonight?
Go reverse.
I would go Five Finger Death Punch, Slipknot, Seether, Nightwish.
From best to worst?
Yeah, best to worst.
I would do Five Finger, Seether, Nightwish,
Slipknot.
Slipknot. Thank you.
So
I
bad,
would
couldn't even
go
remember.
Five Finger, Nightwish, Seether, Slipknot.
I'm going to go Nightwish, Five Finger Death Punch, Seether, Slipknot.
So you had a nice favorite sandwich there. You had started off with one of your favorites.
Yeah,
Ended with one of your favorites.
And like I was so happy when BC picked out Nightwish, and I'm still in a little disbelief that BC picked out. Didn't really care for that, but hey, everyone's got their own taste. We're not on this podcast to say we like something when we fucking
That's
don't
why
like
there's
it.
so much music out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
There's something for everybody out there. If you guys are huge fans of these bands and we kind of ripped on us, give us songs that we should check out that will maybe sway us in the other direction. Dylan's going to put a couple, listenable Slipknot songs on our Spotify playlist. Let's go around the table one more time. We'll say our goodbyes. We'll wrap up. BB.
Yeah, what a funny episode this was to actually listen to music that, in one side you didn't know what to expect, and then actually happen to kind of listen to stuff that you really didn't like. It's tough to do something like that, but it's a really great episode because now, maybe, like Five Finger or maybe even Nightwish, indulge a little bit deeper in their catalog. So now old music has become new music, at least to me. So, it was tough for a little bit, but it's just a great episode because you're doing this crazy research and all this homework and listening to bands that you don't think you're going to listen to. Just get out there and see what you guys like, because definitely Nightwish is on a totally different spectrum as Slipknot. So, everybody's got their own music. Everybody's got their own genre, what they like, and get out of your comfort zone. A lot of music out there. So take a different avenue that you haven't taken yet, and maybe go a little bit deeper into a little heavier direction, because there's so much music out there, and you may find something that you really enjoy.
I agree, BB. There's so much music out there, different styles, because everybody has a different taste. Nobody likes the same damn thing. Like somebody like apples, somebody likes oranges. Just like music is the same way. There might be different spices in music, but there's so much music out there. There's something for everybody. And you don't have to get into, this is better than that or anything, because guess what? There's something out there for everybody. And that's I think the fun thing about music is like, what I like, you might not like, and what I don't like, I might not like.
Sure.
All aboard, but get out there and don't be afraid to branch out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, if you're going to get anything out of this episode, it's definitely try new things. Listen to a band you haven't really checked out before. Maybe reconsider a group that you wrote off back in the day. There's something that people like.
Quiet Riot.
There you go.
There's something that people like for a reason, and maybe you'll get it, but hey, maybe you won't, and that's okay too. Just give it a shot. Try it out. You never know what you might find. It's like a box of chocolates.
Music's like a box of chocolates.
You never know what
you're gonna get.
Music is as music does.
I love these episodes when you have to go out of your comfort zone. And believe me, Slipknot was way the fuck out of my comfort zone. And I look forward to doing these episodes. And there's a reason why we don't do them often.
Sanity.
Yeah, absolutely. But we will definitely. Maybe we'll go back to the bands. Maybe I'm gonna get Disturbed out of there. So just in case, I think what
I
skirted them once. I don't want to test my luck.
I think what we should do is we just replace the band that we've done and then keep those same pool.
Okay. It was fun. It was kind of fun being annoyed by Slipknot, and kind of fun being like, okay, man, I was fucking right for not liking these guys, because it's not. I'm not saying they sucked, because hey, these guys are professional musicians. They must be doing something right for having
all your hate mail
several albums out. But they're not for me. If you're a Slipknot fan, like I said, send me a list of songs that you want me to check out that will change my mind. Message us on our Facebook page. Send it to potterthanhellpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you think we're out of our fucking minds, that Slipknot is the best thing since sliced bread, colored condoms, and canned beer.
Whoa,
let us know.
Whoa. They're definitely not that good. But
Shut it down.
Let us know.
Maybe. Definitely not canned beer.
Prove us wrong. But if you like these bands, or even if you check these guys out and hadn't checked them out before, and this podcast made you listen to them and gain them another fan, let us know. And hey, let the band know. Say, hey, I was not a fan of you guys until the guys from Power Than Hell told me to check you guys out, and I did, and you guys fucking rock. Maybe we'll get some props from them. But the bottom line is, it's all music, it's all good, there's no need to,
Then they'd listen to this episode and see that 3 of the 4 members hated the fucking album.
but then they can come back and say, hey, boom, we got this, and we got this, and we got this. So
this
check
is why we're never having Corey Taylor on the podcast.
Yes.
No, hate's a bad word. I mean, not that we hate
We don't hate it, it's just not for me.
Not our cup of tea.
It's a Slipknot word.
No, we'll just talk about Stone Sour. We'll just talk about Stone Sour when Corey Taylor comes on. It's a fucking kick-ass band. But seriously, guys, it's about fun. It's about music. It's about enjoyment. We're 4 good friends here, and we're just here to talk about music and have a good time. We're not here to fight with anybody or cause drama and bullshit. Well, BC and BB, they'll be having a little bitch slap fight by the end. They'll hit each other
guys,
with their
we already
fucking
did a debate episode. We can't do another one.
So you guys, let's all get along. You know what? It's all good. It's all music. Be respectful of everybody out there. Don't spout off at the mouth and be a crazy person. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know I ran off at the mouth a little bit. I got up on the. You got to get my soapbox. What's my soapbox music? What was that? Did we? Oh, it's the Exodus song.
Yeah.
So you can play. You can
Costas
when I
was
do that,
a
you can
climber.
play Exodus behind me. But you guys, seriously,
wasn't really angry, though.
thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you're a new listener, go back and check out some of the older shows. We got a lot of cool shit, a lot of cool shows. Some Kiss, some Ozzy, some Iron Maiden, some Judas Priest. Ton of different shit out there. We have a bunch of awesome episodes. We got a ton more cool shows that we were just talking about before we came on the air here tonight. A lot of cool shit coming up for you guys. Check us out. We will check you out. We will see you next time, and there will be a next time. We just had a little problem with our flights in the last day or so. Chris Granza called me up to see what was going on because apparently they changed our flight. They changed our connecting flights on the way down and on the way back. They updated my profile and my stuff. We did it through Expedia, but they didn't do Chris's.
Why are you talking about
I
planes?
don't know. Just cut that part the fuck
I
out.
am cutting
Just cut
it
that
out.
out.
Talking about planes?
Yeah.
Come on.
So, all right, so we're gearing up for the Kiss Cruise. It's gonna fucking kick ass.